everybody, welcome back to my channel. This is Stephanie. I'm also known as GENGLOW. Thank you for joining me here today. Really do appreciate you guys for being here. Thank you for those who are new to my channel. Welcome. Thank you for stopping by and checking out my channel. If you like unboxings, makeup tutorials, reviews, anything that's beauty related, collabs, this is the channel to come to. Please don't forget to hit the subscribe button, also the notification bell, and give my video a thumbs up. Thank you for those who are returning subscribers as well. So in this video, there's going to be some eyeshadow palettes that I have in my collection that I should probably declutter. But I don't believe in decluttering. Yeah, I love eyeshadow palettes, guys. Whether they're bad or good, I'm not going to declutter them until, unless I use them. I have my painting projects. If you're not familiar with my channel, I do have some content here, where I do painting projects and I show content on painting some of these products out. I do believe in that. So, but yeah, most of these palettes that I will be showing you are probably palettes that, you're gonna see my reaction, when I show them to you, and I get like mixed feelings about them. But I want to show you this. I want to show you these palettes, so that way, if you do come across these palettes, you know how I felt about them. But ultimately, it's up to you whether you want to get them or not. If you're dabbling in makeup, if you're a beginner in makeup, some of these palettes would be good for you to use whenever you're starting off with makeup as well. So that's the reason why I show you these reviews and my opinions about these palettes. So stay tuned for that. So I'm going to go ahead and get my palettes together so that I can show you that I would not recommend you grabbing. And but like I said, ultimately it's up to you. It's your choice whether you like it. If you don't like it or not, don't take my word for it. I just like to give you my honest opinion about it. But it's up to you whether you ever come across it and you want to grab it. All right, so I'll be right back. All right, you guys, so I hope this is good. Hope you're able to see me. I hope I don't look blurred out. Okay, so the first palette that I have, I'll be showing you a lot of indie brands in here. I don't have too many name brand products or high-end brand products in this basket either. So indie brands, I'll be showing that to you today in this video. Yeah. So this is the Seek Color 14 color eyeshadow palette in Dope. It's supposed to be an imitation of the Lunar Beauty Manny MUA's palette. But I can't remember what the name of the palette was. But this is supposed to be a dupe for it. I guess you'll remember if you see it. It's right here. You have all these nice neutral shades in there. Let me say, the formula is, I don't like the formula. Let me just say. So this is not something that I recommend getting. Just save your money, for this one. To be honest with you, I would just save my money. I wouldn't waste a penny on it, unless you like it. Unless you feel like like if you really liked this color story, but I think you can get this color story with other eyeshadow palettes that you might have in your collection. But the color story do speak November, or not November, but autumn vibes, fall autumn vibes. And the pigmentation on these, they fall off. They're very powdery. These are the mattes. So they're very powdery. They're not. And then the shimmers are kind of stiff as well. So as I said, I don't recommend it, but I mean, if this is something that, if you don't have money to get a better palette, then I do recommend getting something like that's very affordable. I think I got this from Ross for like $6.99, so that's in your budget, I would go ahead and get it. But I really, now that I've tried out so many eyeshadow palettes, I guess I'm just a little spoiled, huh? I really don't find this formula very appealing to me anymore. So this is the palette. I hope you're able to see that. Please not blur it out. Next thing I have is my Hip Dot palette here by Zion, or the Zion palette by Hip Dot. Now this one, I really didn't gravitate towards this one that much. I haven't created a look with this palette yet. I mean, this year, maybe last year, the year before, maybe I might have created a look with this palette, but this is how the colors look like. They look so similar to the Day and Night palette from Cab Cosmetics. Let me see if I have that with me. Here it is. Okay, so this is the Zion palette from Hip Dot. You know, it is pigmented. You know, I didn't gravitate towards it. I guess I'm not really too much into these colors that much. These look like very nice sunset, you know, vibe colors. I have to be in the mood, I guess. So, but the formula is there. It's pigmented, and I guess I would just say it's just not one of my favorite palettes. But let me go ahead and grab the one that's from Cab, the Cab Day and Night palette, which is another indie brand palette. I got this in one of my BoxyCharm, just like the Hip Dot one. I got it in my BoxyCharm box. The Cab Cosmetics Day and Night palette, or Day to Night. That's how it looks like. Uh-oh, you see how the color story in this one and the one in the Zion palette kind of look similar to each other. See, this is the color story. If you can see that, there goes the color story. Okay, let me go ahead and show you them side by side. And there's another palette that's similar to this, but it's more of a high-end brand. But we're doing indie brands in this video, so here they are side by side. You can't really tell too much of a big difference in these palettes. They look kind of similar. They set the same. They kind of looks the same. So between the Hip Dot and the Cab Cosmetics, I would go with the Hip Dot. The Cab Cosmetics, I really didn't like. I didn't like the formula in neither one of them, but I think the formula in the Hip Dot one is a lot better than the Cab Cosmetics one. So, yeah. So those are two autumn fall palettes. You know, I don't recommend the Cab one, but I will probably recommend the Hip Dot if you like these sunset colors, and if it's affordable, I would suggest, you know, to get it. But yeah, it's not my favorite. Okay, another indie brand is the Nicole Miller New York Throwback palette. Again, the same thing. Not fond of the formula. This one doesn't really stay on like the other ones that the Cab Cosmetics and the Hip Dot. They the Hip Dot stays on, but the Cab Cosmetics, I think it fades, you know, throughout the wear. But I know this one also fades throughout the wear if you get this one. This one, I got this at Ross as well. Yeah, I wouldn't recommend, you know, wasting your money on this one either. I kind of give you the same review as the Dope palette from C Color that's supposed to be an imitation for the Lunar Beauty. Can't remember the name of that palette, but it's the Lunar Beauty palette. So the next one, I got this from More Us. I went online to their site and they had this nude Fantasia 32 shade eyeshadow palette. I do want to say that although I really, this is not one of my favorite palettes either. I didn't have a hard time creating a look with this. It's not long wear, but it does have some really nice colors. You know, for first impressions, it gave me I really did like it for first impressions. But they're okay. It's just not my favorite. I just don't feel like you should go out of your way to go on amoreus.com and just purchase the palette. I don't think the price for it is gonna be worth the palette unless it's on sale. If you know, I wouldn't pay $25 for this palette if that's how much it went for, or $18. I think I'd pay less than $18 for this palette, maybe. Yeah, and yeah, I just wouldn't go out of my way to purchase this, so I wouldn't recommend anybody to purchase it unless you don't mind. You know, like I said, the colors do fade. They're nice when you first apply them on, but throughout the wear, throughout the day on the wear, it just, you know, it starts to fade away. The next thing I do have is another palette that is one that I had in my collection that I don't gravitate towards either. Is the Ellen Tracy Ultimate Nudes Eyeshadow Palette. I got this at Ross as well. This one has some nice nude shades, and I'm really like soft, you know, cool tone nudes, but I wouldn't recommend anybody to buy this palette. Yeah, it doesn't come on, you're not getting too much pigmentation on this, and then you're not getting long wear on it. So yeah, not recommended. Maybe I should title this Not Recommended Palettes. But yeah, that's another palette. I got it for $5.99. So if you're beginner in makeup, $5.99 is not too bad to pay for this palette. Just I wouldn't buy it again. Don't like the formula. The color story is not there. Another one that I got at Ross for $6.99 is this one from Paris Hilton, the new nudes palette. It's supposed to be like the dupe for the Huda Beauty. This one, you guys, I was a little impressed by this palette. I was. Paris Hilton, you know, really impressed me with some of her line when she came out with her line. Yeah, it's not something that I would pay a lot for. I mean, the prices that I got for Ross, I paid $6.99 for this palette. I think I would pay that much for it. I don't think I would pay more than that. But it is a good, I'm not going to say, I think this one would be worth getting at Ross. If you see it there, it is worth getting. It does give you pigment, but it's not long wearing as well either. But it does have some really nice shades in here that you can create a nice first impressions look with, or beginning with makeup. Wow, you know, these are some beautiful colors, some beautiful shimmers. Let me just, you know, just show you some highlight. Like, these are like highlighted shimmers, guys. And there's a cream one in there. I didn't even realize it was a cream one. So I think it was trying to dupe the, I think it was trying to dupe the Huda Beauty one. So these are the highlights. I'm not sure you're able to see that. It's really lightly pigmented. Yeah, I don't think you're gonna be able to see anything on that. And there's some, that's one glitter. Oh, sorry, grabbing the same one. Sorry, my video cut me off there. So those are the two glitter shadows. All right, and then those shimmers are not very pigmented. So like I said, it's not very pigmented, but like I said, it's about the same as the other ones. All these other ones with those formulas that I really don't recommend getting. I really don't recommend them. So I'll go ahead and just show you all the palettes I don't recommend in this video then, because, oh, I am so sorry. Guys, I will be showing you palettes that I do not recommend for, you know, for this time of the year. Another palette I probably don't recommend would be this one. This is another indie brand. This one is called the Beauty Exposed by Giordano Colors. These are also indie brands, and they're, you know, you can get these at Ross, TJ Maxx, Marshalls, I believe. I'm not sure about Marshalls. Maybe, yeah, I think you can get them at Marshalls too. So this is how the color story looks like. You know, I like the mirror. The mirror is pretty big. The color story in this one, and that it bends, I like that. I like the way it's set up with the rose in this palette. I think this is a really nice fall colored palette, but it also, like I said, it doesn't stay on your lids much. So, you know, I wouldn't recommend this palette, but I do recommend it if you are like starting off with makeup and, you know, you're wanting to get a little practice in, or if you have clientele and, you know, you just want to give them a, you know, a one and done thing where, you know, throughout the day it'll start to wear out. But it all depends on your client as well, you know, what they want, is, you know, what kind of shadows they want. But personally, I don't really like it. I really don't like that it doesn't stay on your eye. You know, that it fades. I don't like that it fades. I don't like the formula. And it does have some nice, you know, colors in it. So another palette here. I have like some mixed feelings with the Profusion Cosmetics line. I'm not sure if they're called Profusions anymore. This is the Royals. This also has some nice autumn fall colors. It almost looks like a gem palette. You know, like the colors look like they're like gem colored palettes. So these are pigmented. You do get pigment with these shades, but here they are. Yeah, I just don't like the formula, and the wear is not as long either. When you put it on, it doesn't stay on your eyes. I just wouldn't waste my money on this line either, you know, unless, like I said, you're dabbling in makeup and it's a beginner's palette. This wear does, I mean, this, I'm not gonna lie, these stay on a little longer than most, but they do wear off than most of the ones that I just showed y'all. Guys, I'm just getting some mixed feelings with these palettes. I don't really feel like some of these palettes are even worth getting, like the ones I just showed you. Oh, this is another one. This is the Lash Step. You know, this also, the colors in them, they fade away too quickly. Now, this is another palette that I do not recommend. You know, but we do get some Lash Step in our beauty boxes. But when it comes to their shadows, they don't stay on you. They don't stay on your eyelids for too long. Yeah. So, but those are some nice, pretty fall colors. What else? Another one I don't recommend getting, but they're pretty nice fall colors. Also, these have pops of bright colors. This is the Malibu Glitz Street Ink. So this is how the inside, how it looks like from the inside. So this is what the palette looks like. Again, also one that I wouldn't recommend getting because the color does not stay on your lids that long. It's not long wear, and And not only that, I mean, the formula, I think that's what it is. That's why it's not longwear. But yeah, most of these palettes that I'm showing you, you know, they're good like for if you're gonna go do something real quick and come home, or you're gonna go see somebody and come back. Or so moving forward with other palettes that I do not recommend getting in this crate. Well, I think that is everything in this part 2. I hope you're able to, hope you got some good ideas of eyeshadow palettes that I don't recommend. Hold on. There's 2 more palettes here. Sorry. So another eyeshadow palette that I have here that I do not recommend is this Cranberry Eyeshadow 9-Shade Palette by Academy of Color. This one here. They're pretty nice shades. Like I mentioned, this one I only paid $4.99, which I don't mind paying $4.99 for a palette like this. Sorry. It's real pretty. I love the colors. I like the way first impressions, you know, leave you with this palette. So yeah, but as far as the wear goes, yeah, it doesn't stay too long on your eyelids. They fade away. And then another one as well that I do like. I like this one as well, like as a cranberry one. The Beauty Glaze Rock Metal one. Now this one has a lot of like nice nice colors that are metallic and very toned, almost like sunset colors, and they're very pig. This one is very pigmented. This one I want to say I would recommend, but there's a but. Yeah, the wear doesn't last that much. That doesn't last in these palettes. These are some matte that I'm swatching. Yeah, the wear doesn't last on these, but they are pigmented though. They are. They do fade throughout the day. Some fade faster than others. So here it is, another beautiful palette for the autumn. So that is part 2 of this not recommended eyeshadow palette. So like I said, there's maybe 1 or 2 out of here, maybe 3 that I would maybe recommend if you want to get something. And even though you know it's not going to be long wear. Okay, so this is one of them. Another one. Let me see. What else? Maybe, I think this one also. The ones that I'm going to be pulling out, they last longer on your lids than some of these other ones that I just showed you. So I'm going to pull out the ones that do last longer, or that are pigmented as well, and that last long. You know, we have some that you have your pigmented ones, then you have the ones that are, but they don't last as long, and then you have the ones that are not as pigmented but do last long. So I think out of all of these palettes, I think these 4 would be the ones that I would recommend in keeping. I think they do last a little longer than the ones that I just showed you. So, but at the same time, like I said, not my favorite formulas. So I hope you're able to get something out of this video by looking at the palettes that I'm showing you, and then maybe avoiding them. Or if you want to go ahead and just try them out, like I said, if you're going to dabble in makeup, yeah, go right ahead. So that is everything, you guys. Thank you for joining me here today. I really do appreciate you being here. And sorry for this review. It's just, yeah, that's all I gotta say. So I'll see you in my next video, guys, in part 3, and showing you more autumn palettes before the end of this month is over with. I'll try to see if I can finish going through my collection and showing you guys what eyeshadow palettes I have, and that I've, you know, like I said, that are favorites and not favorites, recommended, not recommended. So most of these are just, all of these that I showed you were just not recommended, just and not my favorite either, to be honest. They're not my favorite. But these 4, I guess I should say, these 4 palettes that I just showed you here at the end are probably one of the ones that I would probably say, yeah, I guess, because it's just my liking. You know, it all depends on you, on y'all's liking as well. And then the wear, this long wear as well. All right, well, thank you. I'll see you in my next video. Bye. Take care.